we are the nerds of a nation. We are the nerds of a nation. One Piece, Chapter 27, True Lies. Oh, there you are. Hello and welcome, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, of course, am Jim, here to bring you another review of the epic and marvelous tale of One Piece. As you can see, we are starting in on Volume 4, and we were left off in the last chapter with the shit kind of getting pretty thick. Things are escalating. We had found out that our believed to be butler, Kurahadol, is none other than the famous pirate captain Kuro, and has been hiding out and plotting the death, ultimately, to inherit or to take and steal her fortune of Kaya, the young girl, for 3 years now. So he plans on having his crew, Django the hypnotist, who is now the captain, and the crew of the Black Cat Pirates, to take over and attack the village and ultimately kill Mistress Kaya, but not before she's hypnotized by Django and writes out a will, leaving her entire fortune to Kurahadol, her faithful butler. So definitely some pretty soap opera-like stuff going on over here. Luffy had been hypnotized at the end of, well, during the last chapter, and had pretty much sleepwalked off the edge of a cliff, kind of head in the sand. Usopp had run through the village and is trying to warn everybody of the impending attack from the pirates. Of course, nobody believes him, though, because he lies every day about this sort of thing. So they actually are running after him and trying to lynch him because of that. So our tale starts off over here exactly where it left off. Usopp is trying to go in. Well, actually, it starts off for the first page with Mistress Kaya. She's talking to one of the maids, and she's talking about the maid is talking about this gift that she had to go the next town over to pick up for Mistress Kaya. And Kaya says, "Thank you, I appreciate you going out of your way." And the maid says, "Oh, this is something for Kurahadol, isn't it?" And she says, "Oh, yes, he served. Tomorrow's the 3-year anniversary of him coming to serve my family, and even after my parents passed, he served us so well and always looks out for me, and he deserves it, right?" So we all know that out of all people, this scumbag doesn't deserve, to lick the, to lick the bottom of your boot, but she doesn't know that. She's fooled. So perception is everything, people. She perceives him to be this great person, so that's what he is right now to her. It then goes and shows us Usopp running through the village and, proclaiming to everybody, "You don't understand. I'm not messing around this time. There's pirates. They're anchored offshore. They're going to come and attack everybody and kill Mistress Kaya tomorrow at dawn." And no one believes him. They're chasing him with broomsticks, and I mean, they're ready to lynch the guy because they're so pissed off that he just does nothing but lie, So we wind up getting it then flashed over to the beach where Luffy is, and Usopp's little crew of little fellas there, his little minions, I like to call them, Onion, Pepper, and Carrot, have brought Nami and Zoro to the beach where Usopp normally hangs out, because they can only assume that they'll find Luffy. They do find Luffy. As a matter of fact, he woke up from his hypnotizing slumber and falling over the cliff, and kind of doesn't know how he got down there. But ultimately, he fills them in on what's going on with Kurahadol, these other pirates, and the minions, of course, are like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this! The pirates are actually coming. We need to go warn everybody." That's why he was in such a hurry. So it all kind of clicks together for them at this point. It then goes and takes us to Usopp. He basically kind of gives up on the townsfolk and says, "You know what? I have to go warn Mistress Kaya." So he goes and he sneaks over the wall of the estate and goes to her window, and he's out of breath, of course, and she says, what's going on?" And he says, and he's trying to spit everything out at once, Mistress Kaya, you don't understand, Kurahadol is actually the evil Captain Kuro, he's a pirate, he's been plotting to kill you for 3 years, blah, blah, blah. And she just kind of laughs it off, and she says, what kind of tale is this that you're telling now? Because remember, he has come to her for a year now, and he's told her these just great big tall tales of adventure and mystery, but we all know them to be false. They're lies, So unfortunately, this chapter is really about how you can paint yourself in a corner and how your reputation can eventually precede you. if you were a person that constantly does tell these tall tales and these fantastic stories, I had an uncle that was like that once, and God rest his soul, he's passed now, but he used to tell you these just grandiose stories about all kinds of crazy stuff, about how he'd, you know, killed this guy with a machete, and he had a grenade that was attached underneath his seat, and it had a hair trigger on it that was connected to his the alarm on it, or the door opener on his key, so if anybody ever tried to steal his truck, he could just blow him up, you know. Just crazy, fantastic, tall tales that nobody in their right mind would believe. But this is the same type of thing. You know, as far as Usopp goes, he's a very entertaining fellow, but nobody believes him. They can't trust him when it's time to be serious. So at any rate, he's just begging Kaya to listen to him and just kind of spitting this all at her. And ultimately, she doesn't believe him, you know, and she looks at him and she says, I can't believe you would sink this low to get back at Kurahadol. You know, he admitted that he went too far with you and that what he did was wrong. But I can't believe that you would actually come and try to go and tell a lie that would be so hurtful and so harmful to me. At this point, because he's yelling, and I mean, he's just like, I have to take you out of here. You got to get away, you know, to save your life. The guards that Kurahadol had hired, the part-time rent-a-cops, they hear some commotion going on, you know, outside, because he's outside the window talking to Mistress Kaya. And two of the guards, you know, come after him and go to grab him and say, we'll get this ruffian out of here. Well, he's pretty adamant about making sure he gets through to Kaya, so he winds up breaking free from one of them, and another one goes and tries to pull a gun on him and fire. He pulls his slingshot out and nails him and knocks him out cold. He is grazed by the bullet, it appears, in his left arm, so he's slightly wounded, but he still turns and manages to lay the other guy out with another great shot from his slingshot. So we see that he inherited that sharp shot nature from his father as well, because if we remember in the last chapter, you know, there was a connection, and Luffy had told him about his father, so and what some of his traits were. So all that connects up very well. At this point, the villagers wind up catching up with and finding him, and they're coming to lynch him, basically. He's now been wounded. He tries to grab Mistress Kaya and take her out of there, pull her out of the window, and she fights back. She slaps him in the face, you know, and pretty much knocks his block off. And then one of her maids comes to her rescue with a broomstick and starts trying to hit at him. So he has no choice but to turn and run and to get away. So he isn't, you know, beaten or hung or whatever they would do to him, you know. But certainly his intentions and his heart were in the right place, and he was looking out for Mistress Kaya. So we wind up then going and showing him a little bit later on. He is standing off by himself. He has a very defeated look on his face. He actually starts tearing up. You feel terrible for him because nobody will believe him. And for once, he's actually telling the truth and trying to save everybody's life. Earlier as well, when the three minions told Luffy and Zoro and Nami about what was, or when Luffy told the minions and then about what was going on, the minions went ahead and said, well, you know, we can just go grab our valuables and hide in the hills. Pirates are pretty dumb. Luffy, and I just think this is funny to backpedal and go back to really quick here. Luffy mentioned, you know, oh, I need to go and get some meat before the butcher, you know, leaves town. That was his big concern. Not pirates attacking, not a plot, you know, to kill Mistress Kaya, none of that. So anyway, everyone winds up coming upon and finding Usopp, and he kind of, you know, wipes his face and sucks it up real quick and pretends like everything's okay. Onion, Pepper, and Carrot are like, Captain, you know, we gotta help you. We can't believe that there's pirates coming and this and that. So in a brave thing that Usopp does, and a real good heartfelt moment, he looks them in the eye and he says, you know what, I was just trying to get back at the butler because he was a jerk, and I told these lies. You know, there's no pirates coming. You guys can go home. So what he essentially does is he knows what the truth is, but he doesn't want to go and drag these faithful minions into it. So he lets them go, and they kind of walk away, and they're a little bit disappointed that he said this lie that would be so hurtful, but it is what it is. So we then go and come to the end of the chapter, or near the end, and Usopp is discussing, it's the evening now, about the pirates attacking at dawn, and Zoro and Nami and Luffy, you know, they know obviously that it's a BS, that he just told the minions that he was lying just to get them to, you know, to be out of danger. And they have respect for that, you know, and they say, hey, there is pirates coming tomorrow, right? And he says, yeah, most definitely there's pirates coming tomorrow. But here's the deal. I'm going to go and face them and fight to the death or whatever I have to do. And then I'll have one, you know, true tall tale to tell, right? And I'll be able to add to the, you know, the legendary heritage of my father, the great pirate. And so you have a lot of respect for the kid, honestly. And you can see that because Luffy then goes and says, well, you know what, you're a good man, you know. And Zoro even says, hey, you know, you sent your guys away there so they wouldn't be in harm's way. So Luffy volunteers up and says, well, that's why we're going to help you defeat the pirates. And then Nami says, yeah, and I get all the treasure. So all in all, it was a very good chapter. It was a heartfelt chapter. And it was a chapter that, if you've been following along here with my reviews, I try to pick apart and pick up the little things. And really, to me, this was, you are what people perceive you to be. And if you're going to go around telling lies, for instance, or if you're a person who, you know, maybe is a person who's always emotional and cries about things, people are going to peg you as that type of person. Oh, Jesus, he's going to cry now, you know. If you're a person that laughs everything off and makes a joke of everything, you're the person who's never serious, you know. So then, when you are serious, everybody just takes you for a jokester. So let me know what you guys and girls think in the comments down below. The feedback is always welcome and the interactions are great. I do appreciate everyone correcting me on the proper pronunciation of Usopp, and whenever I can in the future, I will try to, you know, look on the anime and look up these sort of things. But quite honestly, this has been a second job for me as it is trying to put these up, and I'm really trying to get acclimated and put out quality reviews. So I guess I haven't been as worried about taking extra time that I don't have out to look up some of these things. If I can't immediately find them, a lot of times I like to get interaction and feedback from you, the viewer, as well. And everybody's been really cool about it and helpful. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Instead of the usual ending that I have with me talking and that sort of thing, I'm actually going to give you guys a little bit of a treat. I guess I would consider it a treat. It's my latest artwork that I have done from the One Piece series. So also let me know and comment on what you think about that. Thank you, as always, for watching, brothers and sisters of the nation. I hope you enjoy this little drawing I did here. Just used a lot of different reference from the volumes that I already have and put together, I guess what I would hope to be is a decent drawing of our main character. So let me know what you think, and we'll catch you in the next one.